Palace officials are working hard to ensure that the transition of power goes as smoothly as possible. Despite the simultaneous news of the illness of King Charles III and Princess Catherine of Wales, Prince William continues to show remarkable calm and determination amid concerns for his family, especially at the bedside of a convalescing Catherine. The prince still finds time to attend royal events, at a charity dinner to support the British Air Ambulance, of which Prince William himself is a patron. He expressed his gratitude for the words of support. In conversation with the guest of the event, Tom Cruise, the prince not only supported the good mood, but also shared humor, noting that the last weeks were more like a medical theme, and therefore he decided to support the air ambulance. Such a joke on Prince William's part reflects the characteristic British stoicism that his family, and especially Queen Elizabeth II, his grandmother. Insiders report that the Queen would be proud of how easily and competently Prince William handles his responsibilities to the crown, combining family care, charity work, and his father's royal duties. Charles also expresses admiration for how the prince has successfully taken his place in this complex balance. Perhaps despite the fact that King Charles III has been diagnosed with early-stage cancer and has promised to return to public activities, the palace is already preparing for a new sensation. According to close palace sources, Charles has decided not to return to public service, but to retire in favor of the monarchy. The insider reports, this means that William and Kate will become king and queen much sooner than anyone anticipated. Charles III probably doesn't have a choice. The source claims he has a major fight ahead of him and will have to focus entirely on beating cancer. Although the king continues to perform some duties, including studying government documents from the Red Box and phone calls with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. The source emphasizes that the king is growing tired of the treatment. The side effects have been far more severe than anyone expected. Already, William has to compensate for the weakness of the current monarch. He is taking on more responsibility at the palace, keeping in constant contact with Charles' aides, the source claims. In fact, he is currently the main face in the royal family. William and his hard-working aunt, Royal Princess Anne, have already added several commitments to their schedules that Charles is simply unable to fulfill. William prefers more prominent and meaningful events over the daily grind of monarchical work, unlike his father, notes royal historian Ed Owens. Nevertheless, he is now expected to take his father's place at many more mundane public events. Meanwhile, Kate faces pressing responsibilities. She is still in recovery and probably won't be able to return to full activity until the end of March, a source says of the Princess of Wales, who was forced to cancel several official appearances following surgery in January. Although the timing isn't right for her to take the throne, she's ready for action. They've both been preparing for this moment for years, but their lives will never be the same again. Until now, Kate and William have enjoyed a relatively ordinary family life in their Windsor home, Adelaide Cottage. They could pick their children up from school and have family dinners. The source says of the parents of 10-year-old George, minus 1-year-old Charlotte and 5-year-old Louis, they will now have to spend a lot more time in London, either in their apartment at Kensington Palace or eventually at Buckingham Palace, as their schedules will become more packed. When looking at the activities of the royal family members in the year 2023, it is clear that King Charles III successfully attended 425 events, while Queen Camilla attended 233 events. In comparison, William and Kate only attended 172 and 125 events, respectively. However, despite their passionate projects fighting homelessness for William and supporting early childhood development for Kate, they will have to fit a lot of everyday events into their schedules, from small ceremonies to factory tours. The source emphasizes they are expected to face a dramatic increase in the daily duties of the king and queen. Palace officials, operating in secrecy, are actively working to ensure that the transfer of power goes as smoothly as possible. In light of current circumstances, they are not planning a lavish coronation. William thinks his father's coronation was too lavish, the source notes, referring to the lavish coronation of Charles III last May, which cost an estimated $125 million. As a couple with Kate, they are keen to avoid excessive pageantry in order not to distance themselves from reality. So they plan to significantly reduce the coronation events, meaning a modest religious ceremony and a small reception, the budget of which, it is hoped, will not exceed $15 million. This will be a moment of bittersweet transition for King Charles III, who has waited his entire life for this moment to ascend the throne. The idea that he won't be able to leave his mark on history as king is a bitter pill to swallow. The source notes, adding that Camilla, on the other hand, is relishing the prospect of a quiet retirement. She convinces her husband, King Charles III, to leave royal duties behind and enjoy his golden years. It also plays a role that Charles trusts William and Kate completely, and ultimately intends to do what is best for the monarchy, abdicate in favor of William, so he can take pride in knowing that he has successfully fulfilled his role. Please give it a like if you enjoyed the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the latest news from the royal palace.